Erika Kirk, the widow of conservative and Christian activist Charlie Kirk, broke her silence on conspiracy theories and chaos raging in the wake of her husband's tragic assassination. She revealed not only her breaking point for speaking out, but specifically responded to wild insinuations that Turning Point was somehow responsible or involved. Let's watch what she had to say.
Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
I'm joined by Raj Nair, who's going to break this down with me. Raj, that was really something to watch. We have not seen anything like that yet from Erika Kirk in the past 3 months, and yet she came out very strong on a number of fronts. What was your reaction?
Well, clearly she's responding directly to Candace Owens without saying Candace Owens. And I've been reluctant to speak up much about this because it just seems like such a soap opera, such an unnecessary drama. But as Erika Kirk has pointed out and others have pointed out, the words of said podcaster are now creating real tangible ramifications and consequences, people getting death threats, people getting real life horrible situations thrown at them because this person just keeps on saying things that are conspiracy theories. And the fact that Erika Kirk just said it, I think is, and again, she didn't have to say it. She has no need to say it, but the fact that she felt compelled to say it is, I think, a step in the right direction. Just when it comes to hopefully turning down the volume of some of the ridiculousness coming from a certain podcaster. When certain podcaster has made anti-Semitic comments, I have said things just because I feel like that's more my wheelhouse. But when said podcaster has gone out of her way to attack individuals that clearly have nothing to do with this, or that even if they do have totally, I'm not talking about the details of the story. I'm just glad Erika Kirk said this. But when it comes to conspiracy theories, when it comes to insinuations and wink winks, and I had a vision and all this stuff, I think it's important for us, as always, to go to Scripture. And I know there's just a whole army of folks that have bought into what she has been saying. But I think that Proverbs 14, verse 15, is so important to not just what this lady has been saying, but what other people have saying, what the rabbit holes and the X files, if you want to call them, and the different Instagram reels where it's like, oh, see. And I'm not saying that a lot of things aren't true with, COVID and all that stuff, but I think it's important for us to listen to this verse. This is so important. The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. The wise fear the Lord and shun evil, but a fool is hot-headed and yet feels secure. So I think it's not even what is true and what isn't true that I think is a biblical concept. It's the fact that we should not just believe anything, that we should be prudent and give thought to our steps. Because I know a lot of folks who have gone down some really dark conspiracy theories that are just clearly bogus, but it scratches something deep inside of us. We want to believe, and they get weird. And I'm not saying that who killed JFK or stuff like that. I'm saying that like it detracts from your testimony. It detracts from your credibility. It detracts from the focus of what your life should be, which is the gospel, which is loving people, which is giving people hope, encouragement. And so the fact that Erika just was like, let me close the door on this valve real fast, I think is helpful and beneficial, just so we can get back to the mission at hand, and which the fact that Erika didn't even mention by name who she was clearly targeting, but also that Erika goes out of her way to be like, politics, yes, but those are all downstream of the important thing, which is the gospel, which is the fact that Yeshua of Nazareth was crucified, rose on the third day for the forgiveness of sin and death. And that is what she is choosing to focus on. And the person that isn't, I don't know, something happened to this person maybe a year or two ago where they just, I don't see the light. I don't see the joy in their eyes anymore. And yeah, I hope we can all just take a collective deep breath and realize that what's important is souls. What's important is the gospel. And yeah, I think this was not a long time coming, because she has no obligation to do what she did, but I'm glad that she did.
You know, I want to say something about what you just said. I have a lot to say, actually, and I want to carefully say it. You know, you were just talking about our testimony being hurt. When we go out there and we start embracing all these different ideas and thoughts, there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but there is something wrong with endorsing conspiracy theories that have no discernible evidence, right? There's a difference between asking questions and then throwing things out and making it seem like these things are true. And I want to read two verses and then sort of come back to what I think is happening here. Proverbs talks a lot about this. If you go to Proverbs 12:22, the Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. You know, I want to be somebody who's trustworthy. You know, and we're not perfect. We've all told lies. We've all sinned. But I look at Proverbs 14:5, an honest witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. If we are not certain, just so we're clear here, that what we are saying is the truth, and we're definitively saying it, then we are pouring out lies. And I think, like you were saying, it scratches an itch deep within us. I think that with social media, true crime, all of these things coming together, it's created this dynamic where people want to be the ones to solve the crime. People, it's like they're in a game, and they're jumping into it, and they want to solve the crime, and they want to be the ones to figure out what the police have wrong, what the FBI is not doing right. Again, asking questions is not bad, but this is not a game. These are real people's lives. What Erika Kirk was saying is that this is hurting her. It's hurting her family. It's hurting people at Turning Point. And I've seen zero evidence now in 3 months. We are 3 months in to conspiracy theories and chaos being spread, and we have not seen any shred of evidence to back any of those claims being made. And so what you're left with is a grieving widow saying, please stop doing this, and a society that should be demanding answers and proof, not Christians willing to pour out false lies. And so that's what we just have to be careful of. We can all fall prey to this. I have before. I'm not on some ivory tower speaking down at people, but we have to really pull back and consider what we're doing with the information that we are taking in, because this actually crosses a line and can be quite evil if we allow it to run away.